So Payet's completed his move to Marseille, as I guess expected. Some interesting comments off the back of this. Joint chairman David Sullivan, to give him his full title, which there's probably a double entendre in there. The club would like to place on record its sincere disappointment Dimitri Payet did not show the same commitment and respect to West Ham United that the club and fans showed him. Particularly when it rewarded him with a lucrative new 5.5-year deal only last year. I would like to make it clear that we have no financial need to sell our best players and that the decision to allow Payet to leave was in accordance with the wishes of the manager in the interest of squad unity. To be frank, my board now would have preferred for him to have stayed in order to make an example of him, as no player is bigger than the club. He's also ordered to pay back this month's wages as well. Flav, what do you think? Do you think he's disrespected West Ham? Do you think West Ham have handled this well? What do you think?
Yeah, I think West Ham have handled it well. I mean, that's one of the few things they've actually done well. It's since
Good
they're fucking shambles, aren't they? And I feel sorry for the record. I feel sorry for them. And Nicky's big fan of his, and it's whatever. But the fact is it's about business. The biggest thing is that he signed that contract, 125 grand. That's a lot of dough. If any club in the Premier League paying that kind of money, that showed that to me when he signed it was that he was committed to West Ham. Bizarrely, because he is a good player. He's a European level player. He could get into most teams, I would have thought. He wanted to go back to Marseille, and it is what it is. But I don't think I think disrespect's the wrong word. Disloyalty is the wrong word. It's football. This shit happens all the time.
Can we really expect?
Sorry, excuse me.
To be boring you with all this Premier League talk.
No.
All these other claret and blue sides that are okay. No,
fraud.
How can we expect?
Cameron's team.
Can we expect? Can we expect players to have respect when we have very little respect for players themselves?
No, because it's the players' market. Like, they can dictate. At the end of the day, they can say to their agents, I don't want to go X, Y, or Z. I want X, Y, or Z amount of money. I want this goal bonus. And the bargaining power is with the players. So I think it's not disrespect. It's just football, like you say, Flav. It's just football. So
to be fair, I'm just going to warm up here. I did say this 12 months ago, didn't I? There's a club built on sand.
You said a lot of things about.
No, and I've been proved right on all. I've been proved right on every single point. They are a joke of a club.
Yeah.
The fans, I've always said I think they're top club in that respect, but the owners are bad tits. And I've always said this: it's a club built on sand. That new stadium's a joke.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me with Payet is, he didn't demand to move to Real Madrid. He didn't demand to move to Barcelona. He didn't even go to Arsenal. He went to Marseille. It's a great club in France, but it's not one of the...
It's good enough for Joey Barton, mate.
Well, there you go, yeah. It's not one of the world premier clubs. So what does that say about him wanting to so desperately leave?
Doesn't he have some sort of connection with Marseille?
Well,
And it's a family thing as well. He's got his reasons. My point is that, and it's something that was pointed out to me, James Wall Street, extraordinaire, pointed out that Peter O'Neill, he was saying something this week about how, look, where's the respect? Players get no respect because ultimately, unless you are in perfect form, you are at the peak of your power, scoring goals, assisting, making great tackles, whatever, every single week, then you basically, there's nothing down for you, because the second you hit a bad spell of form, particularly with the transfer window and what have you, you're basically exactly, you're garbage when you have 6 bad months or whatever. So why should the football? Sorry, Ben. Because Dimitri Payet, and I'm not defending him, because it is, if he thought he had an inkling of this, to take that money is a bit dishonest, if nothing else. And you can say that's football, whatever. But the point to those fans and that kind of thing. But let's be honest, even if everything had gone perfectly for him, if he just had a terrible season, gone back to where he was 5 years ago in terms of his form or whatever, and just been a complete dickhead, the West Ham fans wouldn't have stood for very long. And all of a sudden, who cares if he doesn't want to go because he's surplus to requirements? He's dead wood. We're having it with Daniel Sturridge. Daniel Sturridge is an absolute goal machine. He's a top-level striker. But you know what? He doesn't fit our system at the moment. He's not scoring goals. He's not playing great in Liverpool's system. And we're now classing Daniel Sturridge as a piece of dead wood. What a player. But we've turned on him. Doesn't even get a song at Liverpool.
It's the narrative, though, isn't it? It's about who controls the narrative about it all. I mean, apparently Payet was made promises about the kind of players they would bring in. They've brought in Snodgrass
as his replacement.
There you go. I've said this earlier this year. They went out all summer looking for the great and good of European strikers and failed. because they were looking in the wrong market. They should have just been trying to get really good players rather than going, oh, we're going to get this shiny thing. And they got that idiot from the Euros with the penalty people were telling me was great. Yeah, where is he now?
What I was going to say is I think the best way to frame this is that Payet's disregard for not wanting to play for West Ham, that's disgraceful. Not wanting to play for the club that you're contractually obliged to, that's disgraceful. Yeah. Leaving for personal reasons, not so much. That's my kind of view on it.
Yeah, exactly. The big thing here, and this is where the frustration I think comes from clubs and fans, is that you're contractually obliged to perform and do the best of your ability, to have a hissy fit, put a transfer request in, and throw your toys out the pram, refuse to play for the under-23s. That is not acceptable.
The problem is we all when we don't know information, we don't know people, we don't know their personalities, we don't know the story, we put ourselves in we fill in the gaps with ourselves. Yeah. And so we all look at those as fans of our football club, and we look at it, I'm sure the West Ham fans look at him and think, my God, what I would, the honour to be given, to be made the top earner at the club, to be our best player. Everyone would dream of that opportunity, and then to have someone throw it back in your face. I think it tarnishes a little bit of the whole experience, but it's got to. And of course, the older you get, the less this sort of gets to you. For me, it was Fernando Torres leaving Liverpool. It was the last time I was selling a player really got under my skin. But realistically, we're talking 8 years before that, we saw Fowler and I genuinely cried, which is the saddest thing you can admit on camera, crying because a millionaire made more millions of pounds to continue to be a millionaire playing football, doing a dream job elsewhere.
I think the problem with Payet was he was what West Ham were building everything on, and he was the. You looked at him and they put all the hopes on him, not only the fans but the club as well, to try and attract other people. Like, look at this, look what we've got this new stadium, everything's going great, we're finishing as high as 7th in the Premier League, it's amazing. And then to see him go, it's almost like, well, actually it's all crumbling away. Whereas West Ham should be just thinking, well, what have we done without him? We've won games, there is a harmony, there's a spirit, we don't need that at the club, we just need to rebuild in a different way without having that one thing, because sometimes that one thing isn't always great, but it is about controlling the narrative. Look when Suarez with Hughes, he says he wants to go, then he signs a contract, ends up going, but he still leaves in such high regard. It's about how you just control the narrative and put that across the fans.
Yeah, I think ultimately I don't think he's disrespected the club in that way, and I think it's cheap for the owners to come out and say things like this when how badly they've disrespected their own fans. But I think he has disrespected the fans because, look, again, but as I've said, you're only ever 12 months away from being teared, aren't you, anyway, so...
I think what Sullivan, Brady and Gold have done is they've put all their eggs in one basket. They've seen the shiny Dimitri Payet. And if you're like,
I thought you were going to say stadium.
You've seen a shiny Dimitri Payet and you're like, right, we can build a team around him. We've had a really overachieving season with Bilic, and they've just gone all in, put their eggs in all in one basket. And it's come back to bite them in the arse, essentially.
The funny thing today was Karen Brady on Twitter saying, if you bring your shirt back, we'll give you another one for 25 quid. What the fuck is that?
Thanks, Karen.
Whoa, cheers, Karen. What month is it? It's nearly fucking February. We're getting a new kit in May. Nice one. They were probably put them up yesterday to bring them down today.
No, honestly, they wouldn't.
They're completely out of touch, completely. But I think
you know why? Because they're fucking horrible Tories.
Yeah, well, I agree. The thing is what they need is getting rid of Payet is a godsend, really, in hindsight, because ultimately the thing that's destroying West Ham at the moment is the fractious nature of the football club, and they could perhaps unify in their hatred of Payet.
But they have done, haven't they?
Carroll's back, he's scoring goals, their form's upturned. And it's having someone as poisonous as that as he turned out to be at the end is a very difficult thing when you're trying to fight relegation. And this would be a good thing.
I think they've gone away from the roots too quickly. Simple as that. And I'm sure West Ham fans will agree with me on that. Yeah. They've gone away from the roots far too quickly. They've gone from being a local East End club to trying to be a European superpower in like a season.
But it's just an idea, just to tick back a point or two. The shirt thing. Now, West Ham, I've basically asked him to pay back his wages for January, which is, again, it's taking a strong standpoint. So that's good PR, isn't it?
Yeah.
Taking a strong standpoint. They should probably use that money to refund fans their cost of the fucking shirts. Because I think Sacco did it for Liverpool. He changed the shirt number in the summer to 3. That worked out well for him. But he offered to repay. Nicholas Bentner did it when he changed the shirt number.
When Bentner did it, no one wanted to swap.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Payet could do it, but ultimately, again, if he's gone, he's gone. But West Ham, for me, you've got that money back. You've got a load of kids who've got these shirts, and I don't think it would do them any harm as a piece of positive PR, because God knows they need it, is to refund a few shirts.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but saying bring your shirt back and we'll give you, and you can have another one for 25 quid is a fucking joke.
You already spent.
That's a joke.
I've set it on fire. I can't bring it back.
Throw
out my window.
They've already admitted in the statement that they didn't have to sell the best player financially. So now they've got 25 million in the bank that they obviously said you don't need.
And an extra $500,000.
An extra $500,000.
They have got Scrooge McDuck fucking pools of fucking double-ended dildo money that they could easily use. Let's be honest. They are swimming in fucking lube money. They do not. The lube is probably what they're swimming in.
They're probably fine, aren't they? But there you go. I mean, to be fair, it's not like we're short of reasonable ways for West Ham to treat their supporters, is there? Not that there's any shortage of them. It's just there's a shortage on actually going ahead with them. But did you see? That's West Ham for you.
Did you see the Sun's tweet last night?
No.
Funnily enough, no.
Do you know when they say take Twitter off Trump? Take Twitter off anyone connected to West Ham's fucking board.
Okay.
He went to some of Payet's best moments, and 2 pictures of Payet playing and 2 pictures of snakes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's like
The owner's son there.
Yeah.
Oh, him.
Class
Oh, that lad again. Yeah, we love him on this
Class
show.
personified.
He is. He's a top boy. I mean,
He's just a kid. I mean, he's an idiot. He shouldn't be. I mean, he's not an idiot. He's not an idiot.
No, he is an idiot.
He may be an
idiot. He may not think, is what I'm saying.
He's a Tory idiot.
All right, you love it. Anyway, there you go. Let's any thoughts on the West Ham thing. Has Dimitri Payet disrespected West Ham United? Let us know in the comments below. As we've mentioned on previous shows, you can check out, we're going through the best Premier League 11 of all time. That kicks off this Friday. But before then, set your alarm clocks for 7 o'clock. Clear your calendars. And fuck Jim White, because deadline day is coming back to the Ball Street YouTube channel. It promises to be, double-ended dildos, mate, all over the place. We can borrow some of Karen Brady.
Three-ended.
But anyway, deadline day will be kicking off at 7 o'clock. We'll also be covering some of the games as well and reaction to that. There might even be a possibility of Ped watching a Liverpool game.
That's
been discussed with him.
But
yeah, it promises to be fantastic. So tune into the Ball Street. If you haven't done so already, click the Ball Street logo on your screen right now. Subscribe and check back on Tuesday night for Deadline Day Live.